Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. This is an exciting event on a gorgeous Friday evening. Here we are at August 1st Friday, and there's so much going on this weekend in Wadsworth, but we are really excited to have with us two wonderful artists, Ben and Morgan Shu, who have come all the way from Iowa City to paint this incredible mural. And I'm going to bring up a few folks to talk to you a little bit about the mural. And I would first like to thank everyone who has been a part of this project. I would like to thank everyone who is here today to support the project. And I'm looking forward to hearing some great comments from those who have been in charge, including Mayor Laba. We have a great partnership with the city, grateful for all of their support, as well as Randy Toddy, who's here. He is our mural committee chair. And then we're going to hear a few words from our wonderful artists. So without further ado, please give a round of applause to our wonderful Mayor Robin Laba.
I just feel like we're so far away. Thank you, Adrian. This really is a really wonderful, exciting day, much anticipated. I know many of us have been trolling around here for the past several days watching the progress. It's been wonderful meeting Ben and Morgan and watching them do their work. Obviously, they're very skilled at this, and what an amazing, wonderful tribute to our community. And so thank you for all your expertise and your skill. And we have a wonderful product that we're going to just enjoy for many years. But I was just thinking about this mural in particular this past week, and I was thinking about, it's been a couple years ago that the city went through a branding initiative where we were kind of trying to see is, what could be our new logo, our new symbol for our city. And so we went through a process where we surveyed all the community members. We had lots of focus groups and so forth, and out of that we had words that came out such as heritage and culture and blue tip and tradition, and it was just very apparent that the community members, part of their what they feel about Wadsworth and part of the things that are really making Wadsworth important to them is our history, and right behind us is much of our history. And it's reflected in our logo, which is a flame, and it's reflected in our tagline, which is a community unmatched. And of course, being unmatched, that's a nod to the Ohio Match Company. And so how wonderful to have a mural to a gateway to an entrance to one of our gateways to the city to reflect our heritage and to have such a beautiful tribute to our legacy and our community. I too want to express my appreciation to all those that have worked so tirelessly to get the mural project up and running. Randy Toddy in particular has put in countless hours going about, and I won't steal any of your thunder, but he's just put in a ton of hours getting us to this point. Roger Havens is the chair of the design committee. He has been very instrumental, as well as their entire committee. Main Street, certainly under the direction of Adrian Krause and all the volunteers. And I'm going to say also Main Street Board, because they've been very supportive on this initiative as well, because there's a financial piece as well. Certainly the city has been a wonderful partner as well, so I think we've had a great collaboration. But on behalf of the city, thank you so much, Ben and Morgan, for your beautiful artwork, and we are going to just enjoy seeing this every day. Thank you. Turn it over to Randy Toddy now.
Thank you, Mayor. You can tell who the people that are used to speaking in public are and who isn't. I'm going to need some assistance as I read some of this. I don't want to forget anyone. So I just want to repeat a lot of things that have been said already by Adrian and Mayor Laba. It has been exciting, particularly from my perspective, to see the painting process of the mural over the last couple of weeks. It's the culmination of several months of work from Main Street Wadsworth Board of Directors and many people from the community. So with that, I would like to specifically thank all of the board members, Rod Lovelace, the president of the board, for his leadership, our mural committee, made up of Roger Havens, Ethan Anderson, and Jenny Young. And we've had several other people that have kind of come and gone through the year and a half that we've been working on this, that have shown up for 2 or 3 months at a time, done some work and kind of fall off. We've had new replacements come in. They've all been very helpful with their ideas and their effort. Special thanks to Tom Stugmeyer. I realized last month when we dedicated Paulette's murals, I didn't thank him, and he's been so helpful with everything. We have our sound tonight, compliments from Tom. Photography, press, handyman, you name it, Tom's always there. And I know that the shoes have gotten to know Tom very well. He's been here almost as much as I have. And of course, special thanks to Adrian Krause, who does pretty much all the work at Main Street. We board members sit around and talk about things, the committee members talk about things, they have ideas, and then Adrian's the one that goes and actually makes things happen. So thank you very much, Adrian. City of Wadsworth, obviously we have a great partner in this project. So Mayor Laba, who of course is a member of the board, so she gets involved in a couple different manners. Service Director Robert Patrick, thanks for your help with everything here. And we need to talk about this tree going forward. So, and we will. Individual and corporate sponsors. We have several people, and I won't list them. I've gone over those last month at the previous mural dedication. We have quite a long list of community sponsors, people that have stepped forward and been very generous with their time and money. This specific project, we have had a lot of assistance from Sherwin-Williams. They discounted the materials that we used on the wall, and also Comfort Inn were able to discount the lodging costs for the shoes for their 9-day stay. So we do appreciate that. I'm going to thank Chris Thomas from CT Services. Ben actually hired him to power wash and paint the blue base coat prior to their arrival. I worked with Chris for 3 or 4 days in pretty much a panic to get a lift here, get him situated, and everything came out and worked out very well. So, obviously, Russ Corbin, the building owner, we thank him for his cooperation in the project and allowing us to put this beautiful piece of art on his building. And lastly, Ben Chu, our artist, and of course his wife Morgan, for all of their help in this. Ben saw the possibilities for this mural and instinctively understood what we intended. He researched Wadsworth, found the history that provided this beautiful piece of art, and it celebrates a very integral part of Wadsworth's past. Our vision on this was our largest canvas, if you will, was to provide quite a wow factor for people coming into town in scale, artistic content, use of color, and historical significance. And looking at the finished product, it's certainly evident that Ben was able to accomplish all of those things. We hope that with this content, longtime Wadsworth residents would see the iconic industries depicted here, remember their own family histories and the links that they have in their past to these particular facilities. And visitors coming into town will see the mural as an indication of the artistic interest and the vitality of the downtown district. So looking forward, as great as this mural is, and with Paulette's that we dedicated last month, this is only the start. We've got a long way to go. And we've seen that interest from both our residents, our business owners and building owners, our stakeholders in the downtown area. So with that said, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to try to raise a little money for the project. So I just wanted to remind everyone, first of all, thank everyone who has in fact donated already, and if you haven't, please do so. It's only with that type of help that we'll be able to continue this project and put up to 20 to 30 more murals around town. I know one of the things we talked about, that we located 16 to 20 original locations. We're actually having business owners come up to us and say, well, what about my wall? What about my wall? So those opportunities are going to grow, and it's going to stretch this project out beyond what we originally anticipated. Main Street Wadsworth has several ways to donate. There's a giving grid available on the Main Street website. There's also, you can donate via PayPal on the Main Street Wadsworth website, or of course, donation via cash or check mailed to the Main Street Wadsworth office at 102 Main Street 20. So again, any help that we can to get in this endeavor is appreciated. We do have a long way to go, but I think it's evident that people can see that we're serious about this project, the level of artistic intrigue and talent that we're willing to invest in for the project. So it's certainly worth doing. So again, we thank you. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over and let our star artist say a few words about his process. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Wadsworth, for this opportunity. About 10 months ago, I think it was, I reached out to Adrian, asked if you guys had interest in working with an out-of-state artist. Primary goal for me is always to identify ways to impact communities. It was clear in her response that Wadsworth was a great community to work with. She was passionate about it. Her signature even says, "See you in downtown." And from that point, I invested a significant amount of time researching Medina County, Wadsworth, E.J. Young, 4 companies, and trying to figure out some sort of tagline, for lack of a better word, of what I could paint and capture that would tell a story of what I thought the history of Wadsworth could mean to the residents as well as people from the area or outside of the area. Iconic Wadsworth is what I came up with. I remember sitting at my in-laws' house, drawing out sketches, just kept drawing and drawing and drawing until I was confident. And seeing it come to fruition is always one of the best parts of this process. So overall, I'm pretty ambitious, I might say, but I knew from the very beginning that if I could land this project, I wanted it, and I was going to make sure it was a success. If anybody has any questions, I'll entertain questions.
Tell them your process to go from picture to
My process is fairly streamlined at this point after working professionally for so many years. I start with, obviously, research. I do sketches. I do digital sketches. I then, once a project is booked and on the schedule, I show up. I use a projector to transfer my sketch. Basically, I can walk up to this wall and draw out exactly what's behind me, but it would take me an extra week. And so if the technology is available, I utilize it, and I own and utilize up to 3 projectors to take my sketch and blow it up. It also gives me the ability to develop my sketch on site, specific to things that might otherwise not have been known. So the Main Street, Made USA, was a modified location to make sure it maximized its success. That was transferred. And then, of course, the matchboxes were transferred. It was a 2-night process for this mural. That's the second most I've ever had to do. Usually it's like a 2-hour process, but this wall is a very ambitious wall. And there's some unique aspects involving wires and things to avoid with the lift. But we got it transferred, and then we had a lot of fun painting it. And my lovely bride Morgan, she's always there to help. And for her, it's kind of a glorified coloring book. I pretty much outline things, say paint this green. She's getting more and more confident with helping, but overall the goal is to see my projects through. Hey, Mr. Veteran, how may I help
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
I got a question here. I just asked your wife, you don't know. In the weather, in the sun, in the snow, in the sleet, in the rain, how long is it going to last?
There's a number of factors in that equation. We're from Iowa. We have just as bad and terrible weather. On the bare minimum, it falls back to Sherwin-Williams and how they manufacture their paints. We use the best paint Sherwin-Williams manufactures, and we use the quality base. So in order for this mural to be a success, as with any of my projects, I require that whoever I'm working with identify how to make the wall a success. And so I worked with Randy, Toddy, and Adrian, and then Chris to get it power washed. They used chemicals specifically to break down anything on the wall that might cause problems on the base layer. There's 2 layers of paint. At that point, everything's up in the air. It all comes down to cloud cover, all of these things. I would say realistically, it will fade. I expect it to fade. But the process I utilize with the black lines, it should carry on for 15 to 20 years. But there are products that could be added after the fact that would extend that. So and it all comes down to, there's just so many factors in that question. At the bare minimum, literally if we have intense sun, summer sun all day, every day, it's probably like 8 years.
Okay.
But that's in the northeast, Midwest. That's not the scenario. Like, we're soon going to see the sun dropping further and further south. Every
Right.
day that it's further south extends the line.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to say and reiterate, you guys have been lovely. I appreciate you guys, you know.
So this is our neighbor. She lives upstairs, and she is literally the reason that I jumped through a few hoops that I might not have to jump through in a commercial setting. But I specifically asked her about whether or not she was going to bed soon when we started transferring, and then I identified how to black out the windows to minimize interference. And the very first thing we did was disconnect the very intense beep. So basically, yeah, if you picture walking up.
Allegedly, that may or may not be
For
legal.
insurance purposes, I was advised by the lift company in Iowa how to do it, so I'm going to play that card. But if you picture walking up behind a dump truck backing up and stand like a foot behind its bumper and then make that twice as loud, that's what it sounded like.
You guys have been great.
And thanks again to the community. We've had great hospitality across the board.
Yes, thank you. You guys are amazing, and we kind of feel like now we may always have a place to come and stay and visit. And you know, we had dinner the other night with Randy and his lovely wife, and Roger has he had treated us to lunch, and the ladies of Subway have been super accommodating. We've been to Sonnets and Ann's and Valley Cafe, and where did we have ice cream last night? That was really good. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, so you guys have an amazing community here, and thank you so much for just supporting us, supporting the arts, and we hope to visit again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I tell everybody anytime I do a project like this is that for some unknown reason, I have the ability to do this. I started college to be an engineer, had no idea that I could paint until I was a junior in college. This project might be my project from the perspective that I developed it with the assistance of Randy, Adrian, and the board. But this is really your project. This is your mural. So I anticipate seeing lots of photos, and I strongly encourage you to use the hashtag #IconicWadsworth, because then I can see them easily. But yeah, I anticipate seeing your photos and wedding photos in front of this. This is your mural. This is for the community of Wadsworth, and you should be very proud of it.
Thank you.
So Ben and Morgan are going to be leaving us this evening to head back to their home in Iowa. But before you go, we just wanted to give you both a little token gift just to say thank you. So this one's for you, Morgan. And the little basket say thank shoe.
Oh, that's so
Right.
Thank you all for coming and being a part of the ceremony this evening, and I hope you all enjoy August 1st, Friday this evening, 5 to 9, as well as the Balloons Over Wadsworth event, which is tomorrow at the airport, starting at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much.